If it's not already, your house is probably going to be full of friends and family for the holidays soon. Sometimes it's nice to get out with those folks, or not, and there are plenty of hidden gems in the Houston area for you to explore. Hi there, I'm digital anchor Brandy Smith, here to offer up some ideas to get you out of the house. Just a quick reminder to like and subscribe so you'll be the first to see any new KHOU 11 Plus specials like this one. While a lot of Houston's hidden gems are available to explore year-round, some only pop up during the holidays. So let's start this adventure at a temporary twofer. Consider the halls decked at the George R. Brown Convention Center. With just a peek through its windows, you can check out this magnificent display of more than a dozen trees, all with their own personality.
It's really, really beautiful.
The fabulous forest celebrates more than just the holidays. There's an Astros tree, a Space City tree, a dessert tree, a lantern tree, and so many more.
It's their 16th season doing it.
Doing Deck the Trees, which has expanded to GRB.
To be able to bring it to the city of Houston and have them be able to experience it beyond our building is also really important for us.
But started at Alley Theater. The trees and the sponsorships that go along with them benefit the theater's educational, community, and artistic initiatives.
Every year here that we do this, there's different trees, so you're not going to see the same one.
This year's themes include the Queen of Hearts, and yes, that is a Selena tree. Doing anything for Selena's is not required, but you will need a ticket to an Alley Theater production.
You get to come see A Christmas Carol, which is an all-new production directed by our artistic director, Rob Melrose, and it also was written by him. He did an adaptation of it.
Or you can see What a Christmas, an adult holiday comedy set in a Texas fast food staple.
Those are ways that you can come in here and be able to see these amazing trees.
Ever wonder what baseball teams do with their fields in the off-season? Well, since the off-season is the holiday season, the Sugar Land Space Cowboys really light it up. Here at Constellation Field, the home of the Sugar Land Space Cowboys, you can get into the holiday spirit with the World Series champions. And penguins, and polar bears, and Santa, lighted and living.
From about mid-November to the beginning of the new year, we are the home of the Sugar Land Holiday Lights.
Now in its 9th year, the display has grown to more than 3 million lights.
It's a perfect event to bring your family for a walking tour, or if you're bringing your date out for a date night and come and have a good holiday celebration. It's really just kind of a one-size-fits-all event.
Even if you visited in years past. This year, there are new themed areas and theme nights.
And if you come in 2022, it's going to be completely different and really upgraded.
It is also full of photo ops.
There's tons of stuff to do.
You can find information about hours and admission at sugarlandholidaylights.com.
As you can buy tickets, we got our full calendar schedule there. If you go there, it's like kind of like a one-stop shop. It kind of takes your breath away for a second.
Sugar Land Holiday Lights runs through January 1st. That's also when the Light Park unplugs its 2 Houston area locations. Driving to see Christmas lights looks a little different at the Light Park.
Christmas is a great time of year for us, for the families. We wanted to do something that no one's ever done before. We wanted lights beyond all imagination.
This is an experience you can enjoy in the comfort of your own car with as many of your friends and family as it can safely handle.
Families can come pay one ticket price for the whole family and drive through in their own personal caravan and experience a million lights, all synced to our radio station.
Yeah, more than 1 million lights stretched over a mile in this off-season water park parking lot.
We have one at Typhoon, Texas here in Katy, and one at Hurricane Harbor in spring. We also have 2 other locations in San Antonio and Dallas, but come out and see us at any of them. They're all a little unique with their own flair.
This is a place for people who love details and those who like looking at the big picture. You can take as much time as you want here looking at those intricately designed lights, or just soak it all in.
It is completely one of a kind.
This holiday pop-up runs rain or shine through January 1st. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes on weeknights, more like an hour on busy weekends.
You can go see Christmas lights pretty much anywhere, but you cannot be completely immersed like you can here at the Light Park.
To get information about hours and admission, head to thelightpark.com, then buckle up for a festive ride.
You can't find a better value.
This time of year, you can see a local hidden gem in a new light. The Houston Botanic Garden is hosting Lightscape. If you've only ever seen the Houston Botanic Garden by day, check it out by Lightscape.
We think Lightscape is a really unique way to celebrate the holidays.
Once the sun sets, the garden is transformed.
It's so hard to describe, but we just know when people come out and see it with their own eyes, they get it.
Here's what you need to know about Lightscape. This is not your traditional holiday light display. Is it the holidays? Yes. Are there lights? Yes. But these are art installations.
You think you're coming for one thing, but yeah, you're gonna really get a chance to see the garden it's so cheesy, but in a new light.
The experience starts by winding you through the Global Collection Garden.
So you're gonna walk under a bunch of bananas, you're gonna walk surrounded by bamboo, and there's gonna be all this dramatic theatrical lighting up on it.
This is one of the first installations you experience beyond the Global Collection Garden, a field of LED bluebonnets complete with George Strait music.
They twinkle and you walk right down the middle of the path. The artists behind them are based in the UK and Australia, but they have just created something that is resonating with Texans. I mean, you can hear it as people come up to them.
From there, the trail leads you to and through a number of pieces.
Each installation is going to have its own kind of playlist and music, so there's very much like an atmospheric nature to it as well.
Add a festive nature by opting for the s'mores near the end of the trail, which you can roast over an open fire right next to the fire garden.
The vast majority of people buying tickets for Lightscape have never been to the garden before. So it is a great introduction. Our key now is to follow up and make sure that they come back to see it in the day, because it is a very different experience in the day than it is at night.
A lot of local students are out of school until January 9th. So parents, if you are looking for something to do during that extended winter break, soak up Texas winter lights at the Marriott Marquis. A Texas-shaped lazy river on a giant terrace, 6 stories above downtown. Then add lights.
When you're up in your suite looking out onto the pool deck, they just pop. The color is so rich, it looks amazing.
This experience isn't reserved solely for Marriott Marquis guests. Anyone can buy a day pass.
It's a fun place to bring the family, chill for a couple of hours, let the world pass you by, sit by the fire pit, take an adult beverage if you can. If you can't, then have a hot chocolate.
What's nice about Texas Winter Lights is it's kind of a choose your own adventure deal. You can go as lazy, as in lazy river, as you want, or you can do all of the activities up here on the terrace.
How iconic is playing cornhole in the winter in Texas on a 65,000 square foot terrace, 6.5 floors up in the air. It's a lot of fun.
So's playing in the snow. Yeah, you heard that right.
Like Texas needs snow, but yes, we need snow.
There's a light wall, 2 fire pits, dozens of places for photo ops, and let's not forget the iconic pool, heated up to 80 degrees.
There's a little bit of a ooh as you go in, but once you're in the water, it's actually a lot of fun. You float around, float under the lighted archways.
If it gets too chilly, you can reserve a cabana.
That'll come with a Keurig, that'll make some hot chocolate for you. It's winterized, so there's some beautiful faux fur blankets in there. There's TVs, and it's a nice place to chill.
Now in its 3rd year, the event added this 11-foot stallion sculpture and synced all these lights to music to add to the experience.
We're not trying to be in competition with anybody else. We just want it to be a real Texas type. Come, have a cocktail, sit by a fire pit, enjoy the evening.
Now, those were just the holiday-themed gems we've explored this season. In 2022, we visited dozens of others: museums, green spaces, public art displays, photo ops, and more. There are a couple ways for you to see the full list. You could go to khou.com/living or look for this playlist on our KHOU 11 YouTube channel. Now that you're off work, the kids are off school, maybe this is your chance to go grab some family photos. Houston is loaded with beautiful backdrops. You could go to the Lovelock Bridge, which is the only pedestrian bridge over Allen Parkway near Buffalo Bayou Park. It's loaded with locks and a perfect break in the fencing that frames downtown beautifully. If you really want to nail the shot, visit during the golden hour about an hour before sunset. There's also a Lovelock tree up in Spring. Same idea, little different execution. You can find it right outside the Lana Williams Gallery in Old Town.
It just was a crazy idea after seeing Lovelocks put on the strangest places in different art shows that we'd gone to. I just thought, we've got to have something in Spring that was pretty, but we didn't have a bridge and we didn't have a river, so we had to come up with, and I just luckily had this 100-year-old tree in the front, and we just thought, well, we'll wrap it with some fencing and see what happens. And we put a few locks on it, and it just took off. We just never dreamed it would take off like it did.
If you pop inside, you can also buy a lock to add on the tree, or always bring your own. Rice University is another popular spot. You can tour the campus for free, and if you watch my story about the secrets hidden in the architecture there, you will have lots of knowledge you can drop during your stroll. Time your visit right, and you can catch Skyspace in action. Its light projection show runs before sunrise and sunset. Get your steps in on the University of Houston main campus, checking out all of its public art on display. It has more than 700 pieces in its collection, which has been growing since 1969, when U of H became the first state agency with a public art collection.
I think what's really important about having public art is that it's accessible to everybody, and there is no barrier. It's about having encounters where art wherever you are as you're coming around and doing your day-to-day activities. It's about having that repeated, unmediated contact with pieces of art, and I think that that's a very unique opportunity and experience.
Up in Huntsville, Sam Houston State recently opened a new fine arts building, and it is surrounded by public art sculptures. So's the whole campus. If you're on the south side of town, grab the whole family for a shot with Angleton's iconic heart sculpture. At Coastal Machine and Mechanical,
we do machine work and fabrication work.
It was lunchtime when I visited. That's why the shop is so empty.
One thing about fabrication is every project's different.
It can be as small as one of these or as big as this.
We like to say we're only limited by our customer's imagination. If you can imagine it, we can build it.
So in the late 90s, when someone approached
Everybody knows me by my nickname, Butch.
Butch Morell about building a heart,
And I said, yes, we can.
in fact, he built 7, which you can see along different routes as you drive into Angleton.
They've been there since 2000.
A few years later,
Actually, it was 2013 when they started talking about it, a bigger one.
a 20-foot one. Butch and his team documented the whole process.
It was just like a candy cane, 2 of them, and then they mitered it in the middle and shaped it into that heart.
The heart was shaped here in the fab shop, but when it was put together, it was so big, actually had to be worked on outside.
You see it, and it just looks pretty, and it's nice and shiny, and then you don't think anything of what goes into, building one of those things.
I want you to notice something that Butch pointed out. This is one of the original hearts installed back in 2000. And this is the one installed 15 years later. Same shine.
The electrolysis process actually pulls all the impurities out of the metal, and that's where the shiny part comes in.
Safe to say the shine hasn't worn off the sculptures or off the community's fondness for them, especially the 20-foot one. The city of Angleton even incorporated the heart into its logo.
At Christmas, they decorate it. People go out, take wedding pictures underneath it.
In a way, that's a piece of his heart on display.
It's become a central location for special memories, and that's what makes me proud.
You can't talk photo ops without mentioning what might be the most photographed park in Houston, Smither Park. It's pretty clear why, right? Made entirely out of reclaimed items formed into mosaics, this place is truly and uniquely Houston. It's free and open from dawn until dusk. Now, it's managed by the Orange Show Center for Visionary Art, which got its name from Smither Park's neighbor, the Orange Show. Jeff McKissick, a postal worker, built it as, yes, a monument to oranges.
He spent about 30 years building it, and it's completely covered in mosaic tiles, found objects, pieces that he picked up and found throughout the city and throughout his travels, put it together to create an ode to his favorite fruit.
This space is open Saturdays and Sundays from 10 until 2. Also on weekends, you can check out the Beer Can House from 1 until 5. This place, another incredible feat by someone who really didn't consider himself an artist, is also managed by the Orange Show. The Rice Military Home is completely covered in beer cans, every part of them. The Art Car Museum is home to four-wheeled pieces of art, many that won awards when they rolled through Houston's iconic art car parade. A visit here is free, but you do need to make an appointment. We've got that link on KHOU.com. While we're on the topic of museums, man, Houston's lucky. We have so many that I bet there are at least a few you haven't crossed off your list yet, like the 1940 Air Terminal Museum. This place was Houston's first airport, and now it preserves the city's air travel history. Now, this used to be just another River Oaks mansion. Owners Harris and Carol Sterling Masterson filled it with European arts and decorative arts, then donated it to the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. So now it's a house museum, allowing visitors to explore the one-of-a-kind collection. That is also how you could describe the collection at the National Museum of Funeral History. Definitely one of a kind, but not as morbid as you might think.
We all die, unfortunately.
The items on display are exactly what you'd expect to find in the National Museum of Funeral History, but the vibe here is very unexpected.
People come in with their own preconceived notion that, oh my God, this is going to be morbid, it's going to be creepy, it's going to be scary, but really it's not. It's very enriching, it's historical, it kind of gives you an insight to different types of customs and rituals surrounding a funeral.
Customs and rituals like hearses from all eras.
Coffins and caskets from all different time periods made from different materials, so you can kind of see how they were constructed over the years.
The tools and trinkets of the trade preserved.
They pretty much were ending up in our landfills, as was the history of our industry.
That history is now told through exhibits that cover everything from jazz funerals to the embalming process to what funerals look like for the Pope and U.S. presidents.
We're always evolving.
There is a lot to see here, so if you're not sure where to start, try the scavenger hunt. These questions will help guide you through the museum.
If you like hunting for stuff, then coming in with the scavenger hunt's fun because you really have to read some of the text panels to find the answer.
Like how many mourners could ride in the 1916 Packard funeral bus?
The funeral museum's an awesome neutral environment to approach the subject with your children and learn more about different types of customs and traditions. Still one of the hidden gems here in the city, but lots of fun, awesome exhibits to see, and there's always something new.
History comes to life at the Sam Houston Memorial Museum in Huntsville. It's set on 15 acres that used to belong to Houston and his family and even includes several of their homes. You can explore all that for free. Unless you want to go inside and check out the artifacts, then you will have to pay admission. If you really want to travel back in time, though, make the trip out to George Ranch Historical Park. Using 4 different homesteads and historical interpreters, it educates visitors about what it was like to live in Texas from the 1830s until the 1930s. Be sure to check the park's calendar for special events before you head out there too. Same advice goes for Bayou Bend Collection of Gardens. Now to get here, you have to cross the city's only pedestrian suspension bridge. It's pretty cool. And this is another house museum managed by the Museum of Fine Arts Houston, but it's full of early American decorative arts, things like furniture, porcelain, and paintings. The property also includes 14 acres of meticulously curated gardens.
We have those formal elements that are on axis with the house, and then there are less formal aspects of the garden that are off axis or behind the house or more tucked away. So you have a variety of experiences when you come through a garden like this. Some of them are grand and open and sunny, and others are more intimate and shadowed, shady, colorful with flowers and so forth. So the people who were designing these landscapes were thinking about creating a variety of experiences for the person who would move through that garden.
Bayou Bend is hosting its Christmas Village through December 30th, though it is closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Another piece of Houston history is hidden underground at Buffalo Bayou Park. The Cistern is an 87,000 square foot underground reservoir that used to hold 15 million gallons of Houston's drinking water. It was decommissioned in 2007, but the Buffalo Bayou Partnership preserved it. Tours are offered daily. You do need to book in advance. Now let's get you in touch with nature at a place that's open 365 days a year.
We are in High Island
at Smith Oaks Sanctuary.
Not an actual island. It is not surrounded by water. It's surrounded by marsh and coastal prairie.
But because it's 30 feet above sea level, this island not island stands out.
It's particularly important for migrating songbirds who have spent their winters in Central and South America.
In the spring, they head north. Their last stop before here, the Yucatan Peninsula. That's about 600 miles.
High Island is a beacon of habitat, so we manage our sanctuaries for birds to be able to drop in, rest, refuel, get a drink of water, and continue on their journey.
It's also a spot for these birds to raise their families.
The rookery does get full this time of year. Lots of activity, lots of noise, lots of baby birds being born.
Lots of interest from birders all around the world.
We get visitors from 48 different states and 20 different countries,
who fill up social media with the pictures they capture here.
Even if you're not a birder, this might turn you into a birder.
Smith Oaks is one of 4 bird sanctuaries managed by Houston Audubon in High Island.
It's a great place to be outdoors and just enjoy a beautiful day like today and see some cool things.
Exploration Green and Clear Lake is a popular spot for birds too. Even when it's not migration season, this is a beautiful place to explore. It used to be an old golf course. Now it serves as a green space for the community and water retention in case of severe weather. Sugarland's 750-acre Cullinan Park is an option too. You can have a picnic, go fishing, do some bird watching, take a walk, and just totally unplug there. Finally, what is arguably Houston's best-known green space, Memorial Park. It's actually the most used running loop in the country, but this park has a whole lot of history. You can watch my full story about it on KHOU.com or our YouTube channel. That's also where you can find full articles about all of the other hidden gems I've mentioned. We've explored a lot in 2022, but there is still so much more to see in 2023. So if you have a hidden gem we should check out, let me know. You can email bsmith@khou.com. It is just that easy. And if you do visit one of the spots on our list, let us know. You can use the Near Me feature on the KHOU 11 News app to upload photos and videos of your visit. Happy exploring and happy holidays.